weeks of a lot of energy toward trying to relitigate this election. So, Savannah, I can just tell you the pressure is mounting here on President Trump to do more.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty extraordinary to hear from former officials who were diehards, who worked for the president until those last moments to say it's enough, it's over. What about Vice President Pence? Of course, he was over there at the Capitol presiding over the Senate at this time, and the best information we had was that he was still there, that it was not safe for him to even go that short distance back to the White House. Have you heard anything about his whereabouts? Any update?
Watch the video of that woman who died. Oh shit, dude. Yeah, let me just pull up a person who got fucking killed in front of 220,000 people, dude. What a great idea. Let's do that. Is there some porn that you want to show me too? We can maybe watch some fucking after that too. You know? Just really get the full Monty out there. Come on, bro. Mods, please ban anyone who links that, by the way. Don't link any fucking NSFW shit. Yeah, that's it. I'm going out with a fucking blaze of glory, baby. McConnell wants Congress to go back to finishing the certification. Okay, cool. Sorry, Turks. I was just kidding. What I'm doing is sarcasm. I know you get very excited. Turkish people are going, Pog. Abi vallahi dedi porno izleyeceğiz galiba. Helal olsun. Aslan adam. It's not happening though.
Making it clear to the American people that that's how he viewed his role, and that is how he plan to proceed and will proceed once these proceedings get underway. And so a really stark, dramatic development there. And it's also worth noting that the Senate's top Republican, Mitch McConnell.
What is this? The fuck is this? You fucking kidding me? Shit is broken, dude. Hold on. What?
By the president's supporters over the last 4 years. How do you explain it?
Oh, boy. There's going to be a lot of time for us to try to analyze all that's gone wrong the last 4 years. But we know from looking around the world and in current times as well as in history that leaders can gain power by fostering hate, by fostering division, and that's exactly what Trump set out to do. I heard my colleagues over the years say, well, it won't get any worse, it'll get better, this will be the end of it. And then suddenly they find that they're hostile.
Yo, is this a fucking meme, dude? What the fuck?
We should tip our hats to the DC police.
Oh, we saw this.
Put up with a lot of this over the past year, whether it's...
We saw this live. Guys, we literally watched this live when I fucking freaked out on the media for a second before moving away.
And we should tip our hats to the DC police, who frankly have put...
Watch them blame Black Lives Matter for how underfunded and how tired the police force is.
Up with a lot of this over the past year, whether it's pro or anti-Trump supporters, the Black Lives Matter protests that were held. This is a police force that has been worn pretty thin and worked pretty hard dealing with situations.
Like, dude, you're such a scumbag, dude. I mean, seriously. You're such a fucking scumbag, dude. You are a gigantic fucking scumbag, dude. You are not on the side of justice. You're not on the side of truth. Like, you are such a fucking piece of shit, dude. God damn. Like, you're a terrible fucking piece of shit for saying that. Oh man, those poor cops, like they threw fucking, no one's talking about the tennis elbow I got while I was beating 17-year-old black teenagers senseless for daring to protest police brutality. No one's talking about this. Okay? Where is my disability payment? Where's my hazard pay? I was beating the fucking shit out of Black Lives Matter protesters, and I didn't get a single fucking dime out of that, dude. Come on, I threw my back out, dude, while I was trying to shoot people. When I was trying to directly aim at people's heads with a projectile. Wow. Yikes. Trump tweeted again. These are the things and events that happen when it's scared. Oh, fuck you, dude. WPM. I'm gonna start banning people that fucking. Yeah, it's. Did I write it? Did I misspell it? Fuck! Fine, it's whatever. Everybody gets what that is. IED or suspicious package found at RNC and DNC. Yeah, I know. Okay. Things are heating up in Inslee out here in Olympia now. Yeah, there's like protests happening all around the country, not just fucking, not just the Capitol either, but hold on.
And we now
Washington,
turn to
DC.
Leon Panetta, who, of course, is the former defense secretary under the Obama
All right, Washington, D.C. curfew is now in effect. I'm going up, and I'm also running a 1-minute ad while I go pee. It's top of the hour every hour. There's a 60-second ad break. Sorry. Contractual obligation. You can avoid the ads in numerous ways.
What your gut, how you feel.
One of them is by subscribing. You can do that with your Twitch Primes for free.
That we've all been watching.
I'm going to go pee, and I'm going up right now.
Savannah.
But here is the 60-second ad break.
The scenes that I've seen today are the most disturbing events that I've seen in my entire public life. I never expected to see rioters take over the Capitol of the United States, stop our democracy from functioning, and basically undermine the very form of government that depends on both order and freedom. And to see that happen is something I thought I would never see in my lifetime.
And the business of the Congress must go on. We're told from our reporting from inside the room that senators and members of Congress are very focused, almost defiant in their feeling that they have an obligation to go on and continue this work, even if it goes late into tonight. What do you know about, without giving away anything, what do you know about the plans that would have been in place for something like this? I mean, I talked about it a little bit with Secretary Napolitano earlier in our coverage, saying, I'm sure you had plans on the shelf for an attack on our Congress. You probably didn't imagine that it would come from inside, from Americans, from our very own people.
Well, as you may know, I signed a letter with all 10 of the former living defense secretaries that raised the concern about the possibility that something like this.
I did run the ad. You might not have seen it, but I did run the ad. Some of you probably didn't see it.
The military in order to change the results of an election, and we cautioned against that. But it was clear at the time that there are those that were going to conduct this kind of protest. The president obviously was saying things to incite what we saw today. Everybody knew that, in fact, something like this was very possible. And I'm a little surprised, very frankly, that sufficient steps were not taken to secure the Capitol and to make sure that something like this did not happen.
And Secretary Panetta, just bring you up to date because the president tweeted about 7 minutes ago, and this is what he said. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from great patriots who have been badly and unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love and in peace. Remember this day forever. How does that statement strike you?
it strikes me as not only irresponsible, but undermining the very role that he should be playing as President of the United States, which is to make very clear that this kind of behavior is unacceptable, that it violates every principle of law and order that he said he stands for, and further undermine.
Man, I'm so shocked that Donald Trump, perhaps the only administration as criminal as as transparently criminal as Richard Nixon's and caught in the act, would be so lawless after saying he loves law and order. Guys, I'm literally, I am shitting and farting and pissing my pants right now. Like, wow. This is just incredible news. It is. Cops let them in? I know. We already talked about it. Like, it literally, like, they did. They opened up the fucking gates.
Police are squabbling with protesters. Oh, there we go.
They let them in. They fucking escorted them in. They escorted them out of the Capitol building. They were holding their hands and shit. And every now and then, when someone, like, threw a fucking punch, when there was like a little bit of hog-on-hog violence, then they turned around and pepper sprayed them a little bit. It's nuts. Yeah, they were taking selfies. Great. A lighter take on the events from us from us international frogs. What is this? Imagem exclusiva. Yeah, well, it's coming to you too. Listen, Europeans, Asians that watch me, what do I always tell you? You laugh today at America, but our main export is brain cancer, okay? This will come to your doorstep. It already is. You laughed at QAnon and you laughed at COVID deniers and anti-maskers in the beginning of the fucking lockdowns. And I told you, just wait. It's coming to you too. And it did. QAnon is spreading like fucking wildfire even in Germany and shit too. It's how it is, man. Our biggest, most important fucking export. Is brain cancer. I hate him. I hate this fucking piece of shit so much. Same thing happened in Germany, but the protesters failed to get into the Reichstag because of 2 police officers. Yeah, thoughts on McConnell finally doing the right things? Man, get the fuck out of here. McConnell can suck my dick, dude. Fuck Mitch McConnell, that turtle fuck. What do you mean doing the right thing? No, he didn't do the fucking right thing. Doing the right thing would have been not being Mitch McConnell. Like, literally erasing himself from existence. That would be doing the right thing. I don't even know where to fucking start with Mitch McConnell doing the right thing. Mitch McConnell is like Henry Kissinger. Maybe on a smaller playing field, okay? There's no doing the right thing for these people. They are the Hitlers of our generation, okay? If you try to calculate it, which pound for pound calculations of, like, demise that they've brought upon the planet is impossible to fucking calculate. At least like with Hitler, you have real fucking numbers and a normative position on how bad he was and how devastating he was on the world. But with like Henry Kissinger and Mitch McConnell and people like that, you literally cannot calculate it because it's happening right in front of our fucking eyes for the most part. Okay? Mitch McConnell doing the right thing. There's no doing the right thing for Mitch McConnell. He has to go back in time. If Mitch McConnell were to do the right thing, he would have to literally build a time machine, go back in time, and I guess maybe end the younger Mitch McConnell. That's when he would do the right thing. So that his devastation he never brought upon the American Congress. Okay? He'd have to fucking time loop. Doing the right thing. Anyway, I'm so cooked that I thought you were talking about taking McCool had. What? Oh, brother, it is everyone on the planet saying that they're COVID deniers, not a great prediction. I mean, I didn't just say that there was going to be COVID deniers in Germany. I said there's going to be QAnon COVID deniers, which is very specific, and that is literally a direct American import. Okay? You imported that from America. Dave Weigel, GOP is trying to convince Trump loyalists to stop their objections? Yeah. GOP is trying to persuade Trump loyalists to abandon a challenge to Biden's win. Yeah, good luck. First of all, these fucking crooks don't even give a shit. Like, they're not real Trump loyalists. They're loyal only to themselves. Now that they saw how many people were rising to action, they're salivating, dude. They want to be able to inevitably get the kingmaker's blessing. They want that shit, partially because there is no counter to that. There's no repercussions for that. Okay? Those guys aren't like legitimately interested in, maintaining a Trump or solidifying a Trump win, even though he didn't win. They're doing it because they want those votes. Just like Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue don't give a fuck about the election being stolen from Donald Trump. No, they just think that that's what's going to rile the fucking hogs to go out and vote for those bitch asses. That's it. That's all it is.
It starts to move in and enforce the 6 o'clock curfew and try to get this situation under control. And as we speak, you look at the United States Capitol on this night, you have members of Congress, senators and Congress members who are sheltered in place, locked down, unable to leave, unable to perform their constitutional duties because of a throng of protesters turned rioters who breached the grounds of the Capitol and stopped democracy. But if I have Casey Hunt with me, they have not stopped it. They have paused it because there is very much a feeling on Capitol Hill from our sources in the room where some senators are gathered in the same room watching this coverage. Some members of Congress gathered together watching this same coverage. There's a feeling, a defiant feeling that the business of this country will be done, even at nightfall, no matter what it takes. Andrea Mitchell, you are a longtime correspondent in Washington. It goes without saying that there has never been a night like this. What are your sources telling you about what happens next and whether this sacred duty can be performed by the United States Congress under these circumstances?
Sacred duty.
Well, I just got a text from Congresswoman Debbie Dingell from Michigan.
Debbie Dingell, lol. Okay, look, here's the other part of this, okay? Like, even if they did this with like cloak and daggers behind closed doors, like when in all of your fucking years of being alive on this planet, maybe you weren't really interested in politics all that much, but maybe you heard about it. Maybe you're now looking back into it. Maybe you read about it in books. Have you ever heard the authentication of the Electoral College votes in a joint Senate proceeding getting this much coverage? It doesn't fucking matter. It's just symbolism, okay? It's just symbolic. Like, they're making it seem like they're doing this, like, incredibly courageous act or some shit. Like, who cares? Joe Biden's fucking president. The real problem is Donald Trump acting like he's not. And the real problem is literally fucking Republicans who are still very much advancing this dangerous narrative that Joe Biden is not the president and that Donald Trump is. Okay? These people storming the Capitol is not going to change the outcome. That's why I thought it was funny when someone was like, oh, one brave campaign aide like actually secured the Electoral College votes or whatever, or one brave staffer. Like, oh, so what? Like, you think fucking 85 million people voting is all of a sudden magically going to go away because some fucking dipshit from Nebraska flew in and like stormed the Capitol building and stole the Electoral College votes? Like, oh, okay, I guess, oops, got to do a do-over now. Like, that's not how this works. That's not how this shit works at all. That's why these people are delusional. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna storm the building, and then what? What's planned? What's the second step in that plan? Okay, you stormed the Capitol building. You took over. What's the second stage of that plan? Do you make demands? Do you hold Nancy Pelosi hostage and say like Donald Trump needs to be president? You're gonna get executed. Like they're gonna shoot you in the fucking head. And by the way, if that happens, you low key deserve it. Like literally, if you fucking take hostages and shit. Like, what were you thinking? It's so dumb. Yeah, motherfuckers are literally like, they're stealing the Declaration of Independence, dude. Fuck.
But our Capitol Police and the Sergeant at Arms, law enforcement did a phenomenal job showing restraint and actually keeping the members safe. These guys have families too, and they did their best to protect us. They were strongly outnumbered, which is why I stood there with them, and we made sure that the chamber was completely clear. The members got out, the staff got out.
Bro, he stood with them, bro. He was defending the Capitol building. Oh, I stood with our brave law enforcement officers. Shut the fuck up, Mark Wayne Mullen.
You're a Republican, you're a Trump supporter, and as I understand,
bro, you got two names in your first name. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
To object to certifying the electors, so we know where you stand politically. This, it seems to me, is a different issue. You're talking about people breaking the law, coming into the United States Congress and stopping the business of America.
I stood,
do you feel that what the president
proudly
said
alongside our law enforcement officers
in his tweet and in his video message, is it enough, or do you think that he's still in some way fanning the flames by contending that it's a stolen election?
Listen, people are responsible for their own behavior, first and foremost. You can't blame this on the president or anybody else. You're responsible for your own behavior, full stop. And the president told him to go home, and even he said, I love him. And people are trying to criticize him for saying he loved them. But I wake up every single morning and I say, love the people, love the call. And I love these guys too. That doesn't mean I condone what they did. I went and I talked to a whole bunch of law enforcement that they have a triage center set in the basement of one of our office buildings, and if I said there was 25 or 50 of them, I'd probably be underestimating. And I shook every one of their hands. I told them thank you. Every one of these guys have families. Every one of these guys, or for the most of them, had families. Most of them were married with kids, and they were shaken up. They were shooken up quite a bit. One young man, unfortunately, is probably going to lose his eye.
They were, because they were like, I can't believe our friends would do such a thing. They were hurting us, but we're cops, and we love Donald Trump.
These guys had evil in their eyes when they came after us. The rest of the protesters continued on their way. These guys broke away. They were there as agitators. And when they started breaking the glass out, I even confronted them at the door, and I said, guys, because I started yelling, don't shoot, don't shoot. And I hollered at the guys at the other side. I said, you almost got shot. You almost got shot. Are you serious? Are you willing to do this? And most of them calmed down a little bit. One of them, he was the agitator. He was the one that was probably the one that got most of them stirred up. Of course, he kept running his mouth, and he's just unreasonable. He's one of the guys you can't be unreasonable, or you can't reason with. But we're all, at the end of the day, we have the right to protest, but we don't have the right to destroy public or private property. We don't have the right to go this far. And you should feel strong and be willing to stand your ground for what you believe in. And I believe you have the right to do that. But this is not the America. I've seen this overseas. This is not what we do inside the United States, and this went too far.
Yeah, no question about it. The pictures tell the story. I mean, when you think about now, many of your colleagues have said and communicated that they want to see this process go forward. They want the Congress to perform its duty.
Look at him
As
standing.
mentioned, you were one who was going to object to the electors.
Oh, mega lol! Oh, Congressman Mark Wayne Mullen cowers in fear at a coup he helped create. Oh, that's so good. Oh, multiple chef's kisses on that one. Oh, yeah, I was standing tall. I was standing loudly and proudly. I said, what are you doing? What are you doing? I care about your right to protest. He's like, meanwhile, he's like, oh my God. He's literally pissing his fucking pants. And that's normal, by the way. Totally normal to fucking cower in fear in a circumstance like this. Of course. But again, you're there for the sowing, but not there for the reaping. This is me when Marat walked in, when I was playing VR, when I had the VR kit on. Like, that's what he did. And of course that's what he did. You did this, you fucking dingus. Also, you can say this isn't America all you want. It's literally America. Saying this isn't America is just as fucking idiotic as like trying to claim that these are Antifa supporters, okay? It's literally America. You literally made this happen. They're rocking American flags.
democracies is people had faith and they believed in their vote and their election and they were fair, and that belief isn't there. But what happened today, what transpired today, is no excuse for that. There is no excuse for what happened today.
No excuse for that happening.
And as I said, there was a lot of peaceful protesters. A lot of them came in from Oklahoma that I knew, and they're all headed home. They weren't part of this.
Wow, I can't believe he's admitting to knowing terrorists. That's cool.
They came there to make as much destruction as possible.
You know, and it's one of those things because there are, you can have, I mean, politics is all about passion and passion for what you believe. Sure. And I always say, you know, if you're not protesting, I mean, that's what America's all about. People fought and died for that right.
What is going on?
But when
why are you agreeing with this fucking dipshit, dude? Yo, mainstream media is so psychotic, dude. Seriously. Yeah, it's just like, this is what America's all about, like protesting. Shut the fuck up.
Asking you, you know, whether you feel that there has been rhetoric that's irresponsible, that
there's been rhetoric irresponsible on both sides. The rhetoric's been irresponsible on both sides. We've seen it from both sides. I mean, there's been some really, really big flames that were flamed, that was fanned before before President Trump even got into office.
Yo, dude, jail, okay? Literally, do not collect $200. Do not skip, go directly to jail, dude. Jail. No, I'm done. No more rehabilitative approach. Jail. Okay? That's insanity, Dad.
They've had conflict with Antifa and the other groups, and it has never went to this point. This is the first time we've ever seen it go to this point. And as I said before, it doesn't make any difference who's fanning the flames. At the end of the day, we are all responsible for our own actions. And the way you choose to act is you should be held responsible for. And I hope everybody that came in there is held responsible because a lot of people's lives have changed. There's a lot of law enforcement, a lot of Capitol Police and D.C. Police and Sergeant of Arms that came to work today that's going to go home a little bit different. There's a young lady that died because she stormed through the door and an officer had to make a split decision and had to shoot her. And guess what? Their families' lives have changed. His life has got changed because the first time you discharge a weapon, it changes you. It changes you, and it changes you forever. Yeah. And unfortunately, there's some people out there that's lost a loved one too, a daughter, a mother. I don't know how old she was, but there's a family that's going to grieve tonight because of what got out of hand. Yeah. And it should have never, ever got to this point. This is a dark day for all of us, and I hope we can all take a deep breath and learn something from this. But we still need to be passionate. You have a right to be passionate about what you believe politically, but we can debate in a better manner than this.
We can. We're better than this. Congressman Mullen, we're glad you're safe. Thank you for your time this evening, sir. Be safe and keep us posted on the plans as Congress tries to get about the business.
No. There's no both sides. You're responsible, okay? Representative Mullen, you are responsible, Mr. Mark Wayne Mullen. No both sides. You're part of this. You can't, no. Also, fuck you, NBC. Are you fucking insane? Are these people insane? Oh, you're better than this, sir. No, they're not. They did this. I'm losing my mind. I mean, he's like literally pissing and shitting his pants. Yeah, I typed it off screen because you guys make fun of my fucking typing skills, okay? Fuck you. But like, holy shit.
A statement point blank and say, stand down. This tweet does what he did at the rally, which is to reiterate those false claims, saying, remember this day forever. It is worth noting it has now been flagged by Twitter saying that it could incite more violence. So that is the backdrop against which we are seeing that tweet come out. So I would anticipate, Savannah, that you are going to continue behind the scenes here to have a number of his top aides try to push him to say more and, quite frankly, to do more. I can tell you that the world is watching. In fact, we're just seeing a tweet come out from Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, who says Canadians are deeply disturbed and saddened by the attack on democracy in the United States, our closest ally.
What are they doing? Like, bro, yo, guys, hello? Al-Qaeda didn't do this. Al-Qaeda did. Why are they acting like, what is going on? They're literally bringing the people responsible on television to be like, yeah, I can't believe they did literally what I've been telling them to do for the past fucking 4 years. What is going on? I'm losing it, dude. It's fucking insane. You did this, and now you're turning around and be like, I can't believe this happened. And NBC is just like literally they're pulling as many Republicans as they can to like wag the finger so that they can play this song and dance as though they were literally not culpable. What the fuck? What is this song and dance, dude? Like, even if you don't want to say Mitt Romney, for example, is responsible, right? Like, I mean, fuck him. I think he is responsible too. He's a Republican. All Republicans are. But let's say like Mitt Romney didn't agitate to you know, and he pushed back against Trump every now and then, lightly and gently, okay? But like, these are the ones who literally were like, no, this election is stolen, okay? Like, there's definitely a group of individuals within the Republican Party that you can point out, as you have done so in your coverage thus far, where you can be like, wait, so you're saying that these aren't your friends and family members that are protesting the Capitol building, but, you know, here it says that, a week ago you said it's time to take back democracy, that Donald Trump actually won, and that illegals voted in the election. What do you mean by this? Do you feel like this is not in any way, shape, or form related to the events that are taking place right now as you are sitting here and having this conversation with me? Like, can you just pull up one fucking take that he had? Can you pull up any of these Republicans who have literally personally agitated for this? This is psychotic. It's completely psychotic. Where is the personal responsibility from the party of personal responsibility? Where's the personal responsibility for the actions that they took?
All right, this group.
By the way, Trump supporters in Washington State have breached the gates around the governor's mansion. Officials say Governor Jay Inslee and his family are in a safe location. They decline to be more specific. I wonder why.
Broken through the gate, blocking the entrance to the state capitol.
I'm losing it.
All right, this group has broken through the gate, blocking the entrance to the state capitol.
We look at Washington, D.C. tonight. On a night like no other, the United States Capitol is locked down. Protesters stormed the building today, stopping the business of Congress at a critical moment, the moment when, under the Constitution, they're to certify the electoral votes of the election and ensure the peaceful transfer of power. We are going to turn over our coverage. NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt just ahead. Stay with NBC as we continue to cover this breaking story throughout the night.
This is an NBC News special report.
And breaking news tonight, the deadly siege on Congress as an angry pro-Trump mob storms the U.S. Capitol. We've seen shocking images of chaos, rioters.
It's nuts, dude.
Steps forcing their way inside. Both the House and the Senate evacuated. Lawmakers moved to safe locations. The invaders roaming the abandoned Senate floor, one hanging from the balcony. Police with guns drawn inside the House. The violence erupting, one woman fatally shot outside the Capitol.
Yo, these motherfuckers cut out a Hollywood sequence, dude. Oh my God. Scored by Hans Zimmer, dude. What the fuck?
To quell the unrest with that city now under curfew. The breach abruptly halting a joint session of Congress just as Republicans launched a last-ditch effort to overturn President-elect Biden's victory in the Electoral College. This unrest breaking out just after President Trump spoke at a rally near the White House, stoking the crowd by falsely claiming he won the election. Later, in a taped message, the president still baselessly saying the election was stolen. stolen, but telling rioters to go home. All of it coming just as Democrats win control of the Senate after the historic election in Georgia. A lot to talk about as we continue our rolling coverage. I want to welcome you back to NBC News coverage of the siege at the U.S. Capitol. Right now, police in Washington enforcing a curfew, driving rioters from the streets and Capitol grounds after securing the inside from those pro-Trump intruders who occupied the Capitol for several hours. Officials telling us a short time ago that one person shot inside the Capitol by law enforcement has died. All this taking place as the House and Senate met to formally count the certified election.
They wouldn't show it, but still, it's good to be safe.
President. Our Casey Hunt is on Capitol Hill. Casey, bring us up to date.
Lester, just absolutely stunning images today here at the Capitol as protesters overran the Capitol and multiple law enforcement agencies had to be called in after a number of them not only breached the building, but breached the very floor of the House and of the Senate as they were conducting this business of trying to count the Electoral College votes, normally a very straightforward process that only takes about a half an hour, that would name Joe Biden as president-elect. This, of course, occurring after President Trump held a rally with tens of thousands of people outside of the White House. And the images inside the building were pretty unreal. There were protesters that were on the walls of the Capitol, as well as
they're deleting all of his fucking tweets. It doesn't matter. They should just ban him off the platform, dude. They literally should ban him off the platform.
Stunning
like, this is insane. I don't give a fuck about your freedom of speech.
Overrun the Capitol, scuffling with police.
Like, it's literally not a violation of terms of service. Like, it's literally not a violation of terms of service to fucking ban him off the platform. He's literally inciting riots, dude. You can't do that. Like, I mean, we are watching him incite the riots, and then you consistently tweet out statements that are like wishy-washy. That's still fucking incitement of riot. That's not protected by the First Amendment. Like, there is no protections there. What the fuck? Like, there isn't even a fucking constitutional protection there. And Twitter is literally a fucking private corporation. They could do it regardless if they wanted to, but it's not.
Declared. It was clear that the crowd was intent on causing harm to our officers by deploying chemical irritants on police.
Members of Congress rushing to take shelter, some wearing gas masks.
We were just told that there has been...
This is what got congresspersons to wear a mask, by the way.
...been instructed to each of us get gas masks that are under our seats.
It began just after that massive pro-Trump rally. Tens of thousands gathering near the White House to protest the expected declaration of Joe Biden's Electoral College victory.
There is the American flag, and beneath it, these crowds of people now who have stormed, trying to make their wishes known.
The group then marching to the Capitol, many just standing on the steps outside, others wandering in the rotunda, some scaling down the building. At one point, an armed standoff. Police say one person was shot. Democratic Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger describing to us how she got out of the building.
There were people banging on the doors of the floor of the House of Representatives. It took multiple efforts for us to be able to make our way safely.
Moms, you know what to do.
And depart the Capitol. It's deeply, deeply disturbing what we saw at the U.S. Capitol today.
Top House Republican.
All news broadcasts already censor any instance, any fraction of fucking blood or anything like that, any sort of violence, unless it's literally a live stream. But I'm just being doubly safe regardless.
Stop now.
Multiple Democratic and Republican lawmakers urged President Trump to appear on camera to tell the protesters to leave. Instead, he later tweeted, "I'm asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue." The president-elect then imploring President Trump to speak.
At their best, the words of a president can inspire. At their worst, they can incite. And therefore, I call on President Trump to go on national television now to fulfill his oath and defend the Constitution and demand an end to this siege.
By about 4:15 this afternoon, this message from the White House.
This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you.
And Casey, that statement not going far enough for many on Capitol Hill tonight.
That's right, Lester. Many Republicans urging the president to go farther in trying to ensure calm, to calm this situation down and to make it easier to have a peaceful transfer of power to Joe Biden. Lester.
All right. Casey Hunt, thank you. And one of those caught in today's assault was Congressman Mike Gallagher, a Wisconsin Republican. He joins us tonight on the phone. First of all, Congressman, are you someplace safe and well?
I am. Yeah, we're kind of sheltering in place here, but I honestly never thought I'd be barricading the doors and watching what I saw happen today in the U.S. Capitol.
Yeah, I mean, some of the images are stunning, and you saw them firsthand. Can you walk us through what happened? I know the Senate and House had split apart for the purposes of debating some objections. When did you realize something was amiss?
Well, it was almost simultaneous with the debate over the certification of Arizona's electors when the protesters started to gather at the foot of the Capitol, and things quickly descended into violence. You know, you heard multiple flashbangs being deployed, which was presumably the Capitol Police trying to get the protesters to back off. The protesters were violently clashing with the police. Earlier in the day, one of the buildings had been evacuated when protesters breached the perimeter, and then somehow they breached the security perimeter of the Capitol itself, and they started breaking down windows, running amok in Statuary Hall, eventually got onto the Senate floor and the House floor, and then, you know, the vice president was evacuated by Secret Service, and then someone was shot, and it's my understanding that that person has died. I mean, that is the cost of what has happened today. I mean, someone died in the United States Capitol, in America today. I mean, this is unacceptable. And I think, if nothing else, the objectors need to stop playing this dangerous game. We need to reconvene tonight when order is restored. The objectors need to stand down. We need to certify the results of the election. And Donald Trump is ultimately going to have to concede. That's the only way we avoid stuff like this in the future. As a Republican, it bums me out that we lost the presidential election, but such is life. When you lose, you take a second, you look in the mirror, and you figure out how you can do better next time, and that's what we need to do as a party right now.
So, Congressman, it appears they have secured the Capitol now, but that doesn't change the belief in the people we're seeing here.
The real bummer, dude.
Somehow stolen, and the president probably didn't help things today by his remarks. So where does that leave us tomorrow and the next day?
Well, I think the prudent move.
People constantly engage in really racist fucking takes about black people and like fatherlessness and all this other shit, or like no role models. Like, right? White people love saying like black people don't have good role models, or like rap music or whatever, because it's a substitute for saying it's like their genetic differences. They say culture. But in fact, like, there is no better example of like having horrible parenting than these people running around like fucking children. Like, did you not have a parent scold you? Like, would you jump off a bridge if your friends were doing it? No. That's why they don't wear fucking masks when everyone else is not wearing a mask. Could you fucking at least experience defeat with a little bit more grace? Literally, just like, no parenting whatsoever. They're like they're running around like headless chickens that have had zero fucking parenting whatsoever, dude. Well, I guess their parents are there alongside of them. But then again, if Trump asked them to jump off a bridge, they would do it. I mean, they literally are doing it right now. British reporter inside the Capitol interviewing Trumpers. Oh, hell yeah, let's do it. This is my favorite thing. As you guys know, one of my favorite things to watch is always like British fucking reporters literally like Jane Goodall interviewing hogs in the wild, like it's a David Attenborough piece. You know what I mean? Like, here we are in the Chod Safari in the Serengeti of Republican MAGA territory. I have in front of us a couple of chuds in the wild. We're going to ask them questions about why they're doing what they're doing. Let's go.
USA! USA! USA!
For 4 years, we have witnessed turmoil in America, but nothing quite like this. The pro-Trump crowd fought with the police, trying to break through their lines.
Wait, there is no, they don't show, right? Like, ITV doesn't like show the the one woman being shot, I hope. Hold on, I'm going to scroll through it really quickly just to make sure. I don't want to like fuck up. It's important for me to do this, sorry. Oh wow, this is wild. Oh, this is really good footage. Holy shit. Stop scrolling. Keep scrolling, motherfucker. What is this? Yes, someone did get shot at the protests. Yes, that happened and killed. A woman got shot and killed at the protest. Shot in the neck. And I'm trying to figure out if this like video features it by the cops. I think not enough details. Hold on. Doesn't seem like it. Okay. In the chest? I don't know. Even the footage of her being shot doesn't actually feature the shot itself. Like, there's no blood, but I don't want to risk it.
USA! USA! USA!
For 4 years, we have witnessed turmoil in America. But nothing quite like this. The pro-Trump crowd fought with the...
No, I watched one of the videos where, like, the moment where she gets shot and falls down from one of the angles doesn't actually show the blood. But it doesn't matter.
Police. Trying to break through their lines. Intoxicated by the unlikely prospect of reversing America's election outcome. We watched as the standoff continued for at least an hour. Tear gas canisters were fired from the very stage on which Joe Biden will be inaugurated. But for Capitol Hill police officers, this was a losing battle.
This is exactly what was feared, but in no way is this a surprise. It has been fueled by the president's rhetoric, and it's increasingly clear this election has not healed the wounds. It has simply amplified them.
We followed the aggrieved and infuriated Trump supporters as they stormed the building.
Remember all of this that's happening in the context of what we watched last night. If you recall, we watched Alex Jones field one of the rallies last night, and the things that he said as his voice was going out, as he was screeching about like violence, vengeance, blood, justice, storming the Capitol Hill, all of it, demons, literal fucking demons that they were fighting against because God was on their side. Remember all of that in the frame of reference, in context with what events took place today. And then remember that Donald Trump literally went on Alex Jones's TV show for 45 minutes. He gave a 45-minute interview to Alex Jones in the beginning before he was elected. So, you know, that's the kind of country that we live in. And that's the kind of politicians that we have. So make no mistake, this is not an accident, okay? This was deliberate. And a big part of the problem here is actual people in legitimate positions of power within the Republican Party 100%, without a doubt, galvanizing, agitating, emboldening some of the more extremist and, dare I say, Nazi elements within their own ranks, within their own media apparatus. They didn't just say like, oh, those are our guys. They would literally make them more popular. They would offer institutional legitimacy that they themselves had back to those people that should not be legitimate and should not have institutional legitimacy. They did this with even the likes of like legitimate Nazis, okay? Charlottesville put an end to that the first time. Nazis knew better than to openly say that they're Nazis unless you're Stephen Miller, in which case it doesn't fucking matter. When you're Stephen Miller, you can still write legislation that's white nativist in nature. But this did not happen as an accident. This was expected. So make no mistake, if any Republicans going forward act like they're surprised, act like they're shocked by this, act like this was not expected, this was not the expected outcome, shove those words back into their fucking mouths. You reap what you fucking sow. Where is your personal responsibility? You kept crying about Antifa. You kept crying about how violent the BLM protesters are. There's a difference between legitimate grievances and illegitimate ones. You are a sore fucking loser. And perhaps that's not shocking considering Trump was a sore winner too. Remember, Donald Trump started his administration by complaining about Hillary Clinton getting 3 million illegal votes because she had defeated him in the popular vote. He won the election and literally set up an election integrity committee. One that he disbanded later quietly when that very own committee found no malpractice or no harm had been done to the election's integrity. But hey, he still cried about it. Of course he was going to be a fucking sore loser too. Yeah, it is illegal, you fucking oof. What?
Through broken windows and doors they had forced open. And for a few heady moments they felt
okay,
they had
at
won
5:40 I'll skip. Like, the thing is, there are legitimate forms of oppression that these people, along with many white people and many brown people, many black people, face, right? Legitimate forms of oppression. They probably have a shit job that they fucking hate. They probably have a shit manager that they work at the shit job that they hate. They're working their fucking asses off. Okay, some of them, maybe a lot of them are recipients of a neat little sum of intergenerational wealth, and that's why they have the freedom to be able to fly across the country to go fucking storm the Capitol building. But they absolutely do experience some form of oppression under capitalism. But you cannot tell me that they are currently literally desperately seeking a new form of struggle for themselves. They are looking for victimhood in places where there is none. You are creating a problem for yourself. Why are you doing this on a Wednesday? You're doing this for Donald Trump because you're upset that Donald Trump lost the election and that hurt his fifis and therefore it hurt your fifis. I mean, nothing says you have at least a profound amount of privilege, like flying from Bakersfield, California to fucking Washington, D.C. so you could storm the Capitol building after listening to your, like, Ku Klux Klan adjacent a desert rave, okay? And then storming the Capitol building. On a fucking Wednesday, dude. Real freak shit.
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
What a racist statement. Really? Come on, bro. That's racist, dude? That's racist? Fucking freak. I swear to God. There's a black guy right there. Oh, shit, dude. There's a black guy. Never mind. I was wrong. Donald Trump is not racist. You owned me. Yeah, no. Candace Owens is also the representative of black people and also black grievances. And she's the spokesperson for black people and not a fucking white supremacist herself. You know, she's a black woman, but racism ended, guy. Holy shit. I had no idea. I didn't know the CEO of black people was there. Or Candace Owens, I guess, is the CEO of black people. Shit, dude. Thanks. Anyway. Yeah, it's Burning Man, but with burning crosses. That's what I was trying to remember. That's why I said KKK rally in the desert rave. It's literally Burning Man for racists, okay? And fucking psychotic reactionaries.
They were now in the very heart of the congressional building. What's the purpose of storming Congress itself?
Because they work for us. They don't get to steal it from us. They don't get to tell us we didn't see what we saw. We respect the law. We were good people.
The fuck did you see, you dumb fuck? What the absolute fuck did you see, bro? What did you see?
The government did this to us. We were normal, good, law-abiding citizens, and you guys did this to us. We want our country back. We are protesting for our freedom right now. That's the difference.
Like what?
Purpose of storming Congress.
How do I know that?
They reached and entered the Speaker's office itself. Although Nancy Pelosi and other lawmakers had already been evacuated to safety.
There you go. There you go, brother.
As we filmed, protesters tore down Pelosi's nameplate.
And so here we are right now inside the halls of Congress. This is exactly what so many anticipated, and yet the Capitol Hill police are doing their best, but failing to control the situation.
Oh God, imagine the smells, dude. Actually, don't do that. It really is all divorce dads. Yeah, no, that's a fact. Okay. A couple things we joke about around here that's like probably real. It's not scientific evidence, but divorce dads make up 99.9% of the like the vanguard party of Trump supporters. Like those in the front lines, all divorce dads. 17 years old, probably a divorced dad. I don't care. I don't care how old you are. You have divorced dad energy. Okay? Victim of family court, brother. That's why I'm out here. Fuck Nancy Pelosi. Walking down the street, gets 900 cops out in full riot gear. People taking over the Capitol building. It's 3 security guards. Yeah, soon to be divorced dad if they're not a divorced dad yet. Yeah, they're like JROTC kids. You know how like you're talking to a future Marine Corps. Sir, I'll have you know you're talking to a future veteran. Like that's what the 17-year-olds are. They're, sir, I'll have you know you're talking to a future divorced dad, okay? Excuse me, sir. I might be 15, but I'm going to be a divorced dad soon.
We all know that they changed the rules mid-game, and they're not being held accountable, and that's a shame.
What's your message to the Capitol Hill police and to lawmakers here?
This is our country. This is our house. That's it. This is our house. This is our country. This is our country.
Inside the chamber itself, there was chaos. Agents hastily blocking the doors with furniture to keep the protesters out. Officers ready to open fire as a last resort. In the galleries, people took shelter. The great constitutional showdown in Congress had to be suspended.
Madam Speaker and members of Congress, pursuant to the Constitution and the laws of the United States.
A little earlier, the passions and America's political schism were on display as Trump loyalists acted to stop the certification.
I rise up for myself and 60 of my colleagues to object to the counting of the electoral ballots from Arizona.
But I would urge to both sides perhaps a bit less certitude and a bit more recognition that we are gathered at a time when democracy is in crisis.
But the plea to suspend certification of the election was fiercely contested by the leader of the Senate, who broke definitively with Trump.
If this election were overturned by mere allegations from the losing side, our democracy would enter a death spiral. We'd never see the whole nation accept an election again.
100 miles away in Delaware, President-elect Joe Biden pleaded for the intervention of the one man who could halt this.
I call on...
Yeah, the one man. The one man who can stop it. 542 to 559 is audio, the gunshot, and close-up of the woman on the floor, no blood. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm, like, afraid of.
On President Trump to go on national television now to fulfill his oath and defend the Constitution and demand an end to this siege to storm the Capitol, to smash windows, to occupy offices, the floor of the United States Senate, rummaging through desks, on the Capitol, on the House of Representatives, threatening the safety of duly elected officials.
Please stop
it's
it,
not
sir.
protest.
Cut it out.